Guys, thought I'd do another video on the Slingshot indicator because the more that I look at this indicator, the more I try it out, the more excited I'm really getting about this. It's a really cool indicator for swing trading, so definitely check it out. I'll leave a link to this page in the description below where you'll get all the information you need, including the back testing, which is about 3/4 of the way down. About here starts the back testing, and a couple of things like I want to show you. I want to show you one of the stocks that isn't on here. Because I was curious, there's 20 that he really recommends, and he's shown some of them on the back testing on the landing page here. But there's a few that I just thought I'd try. It seems like any large cap stock with volume seems to do really well with this slingshot indicator. But you can see here that even SPY has 88% win rate. But what I noticed as I'm looking here is like they're not like really choppy. It's a very linear profit and loss on these back tests. There's very small drawdowns, and it's very linear. It's not just like all over the place, up and down, up and down. And all of them look like that. You can see the kind of the sawtooth thing here. Same with these ones. They're very linear, which is a really good thing because it makes it easier to actually stick with the strategy. You can see they're all like this, very little drawdowns. Sometimes you get a little bit more of one, but very linear. So I think that's something I look for as well, just being overall profitable and a high win rate, like 85% or 86% or 90%, 92% for PGR. But the fact that they're so linear is really impressive to me as well, because it makes trading them much, much easier. So yeah, 90+% win rate on some of these tickers. So you can see the sort of tickers that he's looking at: KO, XLB, WMT, costs, SPY, and the other ones down here. Microsoft, PGR, Nvidia, LLY, and there's a whole bunch more now. I haven't really looked to see what his top ones are since I got access to the system, but I thought Google probably is going to be on there as one of the top ones. So I had a look at it and I was blown away with what I saw here. So basically, this is the indicator if you haven't seen it yet. I'll zoom in and let you see one of the signals, and then hopefully you can make sense of the rest of the signals. Sometimes on YouTube videos it's kind of hard to show these things. It can be difficult to make out what all the lines mean and stuff like that, so hopefully I can make this as clear as possible. This was a signal that fired on this vertical blue bar, is telling you the entry time for the candle that you're supposed to enter on. So you have this big blue bar vertically and a blue candle and a little arrow that says buy. And this indicator only buys dips, so you can see we dipped, and it looks to sell once it hits this blue horizontal line, which is like a moving profit target for the indicator. So you can see we chopped up, and we probably would have got out if you'd taken this trade on this candle here. If not, you'd have to wait a little bit longer. This trade took from Tuesday the 21st. If you waited all the way to here, it's 24th. So this was a 3-day long trade, and it was pretty steadily up. I mean, a bit of a pullback here. Maybe got lucky and took some profits here, or scaled out a little bit and held for this big move up through here. So this is an example of the trade on Google. Now, if it had gone wrong, the stop loss is pretty low down here. So the red line is the stop loss. So it's important to realize that these are fairly asymmetric trades, made profitable by the fact the win rate is so high. And we can scan through and look at a few more. When it goes yellow like this, it's not really a trade alert. It's just basically saying it's a bit oversold. So we don't take any trades when it just goes yellow. It's yellow usually on a pullback like this, followed by a blue candle with this vertical blue line. It makes it easy to spot when you're zoomed out. And then the idea is to wait for a move up until it hits the profit target up here. So it would have taken a bit longer. You'd have had to wait till Thursday the 16th of October and entered 25th of September. So this was a particularly long trade, unless you decided to scale out on some of these little moves up where it nearly hit the profit target. Then you'd be feeling a little bit more like solid about the thing, but it did hit the profit target eventually. And what amazed me is like literally looking back here, I'm finding all these trades. Look at this one, blue bar right here, buy arrow, and then bang, just gaps up from Tuesday to Wednesday night, just flies through the profit target, just bang all the way up to here. So you'd be getting out for huge profits on this one. What struck me with this is how accurate it is. Like, I know looking at the back testing, it says like 80%, 90% for some of these large cap stocks, but this one really is phenomenal. I can't find a losing trade. I've looked back through the history of it on the 30-minute chart, so you generally use this on a 30-minute chart. You can use it on shorter time frames, but it's been tested only on the 30-minute swing trading sort of time frames. Here's another one, blue bar appears, blue candle, little up arrow. I've zoomed out, so hopefully it's still clear. There's a bit of a pullback as it's still getting a bit more oversold, and then bang, we go up and hit the profit target up here. Same with this one, another indicator to buy here. Pulls back a little bit, and then bang, we work all the way up here. So you can see this really works. Like, it really works well. It's really a good indicator. So here's probably the worst one that I saw on Google. This one was indicating to get in here. Then we had this big pullback almost to the stop out, but then a few days later, or a week or two later, it hits up here. So you'd have to be buying options that are quite far out in time. This obviously isn't a zero DTE this trading strategy. These are multiple days, if not weeks, of in terms of being in these trades. So here's another one. I'm just showing you all the ones on Google. This one indicates to get in here, pulled back a bit more, still stayed yellow. It seems to happen quite a bit. It doesn't call the exact bottom because that's really, really hard. It doesn't always call like close to the bottom, but it just knows that it's likely we'll see a reversal soon. And sure enough, bang, take profits there. See if there's another one. Yep, here's another one. This is a much faster one. So this one indicated to buy here on Friday the 9th of May. And then by Monday morning, it gapped up and hit the profit target here. So they don't all last a week or two. Some of them are a day or 2 days, but they are all swing trades. Here's another one. Get in here. This one just kind of went straight up, which is good. Here's another one that pulled back quite a bit. So it indicated here it did pull back quite a bit, but it eventually hit the profit target really nicely. Would have gapped up well above the profit target from Thursday to Friday night up here. Here's another one. Get in here. A little bit of chop, bang, all the way up to here. Pretty nice. So you can see, like, here's another one all the way up to profit target. That was a fast one. That was from Monday overnight till Tuesday. It hit the profit target, so one day. So yeah, pretty amazing, really, when you think about it. It's really high probability of success. So if you like high probability swing trades, I honestly starting to really think this is one of the best indicator systems out there for that. All right, hopefully it's helpful. If you want to check it out, go to the description below and just come to this page and you can learn all about everything you ever needed to know about the Slingshot indicator.